Hi everybody, Joshua here with the Heavy Piano YouTube channel. Today's video will be a piano tutorial for Lana Del Rey's Sweet Carolina. So I'll get into the chords and melody on the piano, and I encourage you to check out my versions of it. I have a version right now, the acoustic, on the acoustic piano, and then I will upload a Synthesia version here very shortly as well for you to check out notes. Let's see here, but I will talk about in this video chords and melody, and then some of the ideas I have for the piano for my improvised arrangement. So we have three chords at the top here. We have a D flat major, E flat minor, and G flat major. And the way I'm playing those chords is very similar to what's on the recording, just kind of spreading out the chord. So that kind of forms the basis of the introduction. Let's see here. One of the things to think about is this idea of centering. I talked about this before. You've probably seen me stretch a little bit, maybe a little more than I should, but try to keep a neutral position when you're doing those big chord stretches, right? There shouldn't be any tension or pain, or avoid those sharp angled, tense kind of shapes. And the tension, if you can avoid tension you're playing, it will come across in the sound that you're producing as well. So our melody on the lyrics, don't have to write me a letter. So let's see here, we're going to go on, start an F. Approximation, she's singing, so there's some vocal inflection there I'm missing, but that's more or less the melody. Let's see, next part. Again, kind of approximation, playing around with these notes: D flat, E flat, F, A flat, B flat. Was that D flat pentatonic? Kind of singing over that. And then we have our first chorus. Excuse me. Right, so again, same three chords: D flat, E flat minor, and G flat, going over those. There's three parts to the melody and into the chorus as well. We have our second verse: you name your babe, lie like heaven. When I'm having overlapping notes between melody and left-hand accompaniment, I go ahead and let the left hand drop out a little bit without trying to lose too much of the pulse. Another chorus. So after the verse, chorus, then we have just kind of like a B section or a bridge, and it'll be A flat major, G flat major. The melody kind of follows what I'll play here. Approximation, but following around with that E flat, F, D, melody, again following the D flat pentatonic. Let's see here, and then we have another chorus. this last little bit, don't remind me of the letter. She returns to the lines from the first verse. Kind of finishing like that. So that's approximately more or less what she's doing. And of course, when I play it, I create my own kind of version just with what I hear and my inflections and all that. But those are the chords and melody that I'm using. When I start to improvise a little bit, so I keep the pulse, this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, kind of in the background throughout. So even when I'm not hitting every single subdivision or every marked point of that pulse, I still kind of have it in the back of my head, or just like inside, trying to create that. Let's see here. So let's see the difference between 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 5, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, right? So I'm counting the whole time. I had to take a breath there. What if I create a breath in my music? And again, I'm kind of playing around with those notes from more or less from that D flat pentatonic, creating different voicings here. I do use the C natural as a major 7 sometimes. Think about where my phrases are going, like the motion going up higher. Let's see here, if I create a phrase. Take a little breath. Let's do another phrase. Ba da 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 1, 2, 3. And so I'm like finishing my sentence there, if that makes sense. So I'm kind of like creating a statement, building it, bringing it back, and then like putting the period on it, if that makes sense. Just one of the ideas to think about when you're improvising over something. Again, that's the certain emotion and energy that will give you, or like whatever I'm feeling in this moment sitting in my garage studio trying to show you how to play this song. I'm going to come up with different ideas and different feelings on the piano than if I was back in my living room where I record stuff on the acoustic, And then even like the kind of sounds I'm getting out of this virtual piano, the software piano, is going to give me different ideas. There's another thing where you can use the major 7 over the G flat. Excuse me, I almost said F sharp. So, kind of like take a look at my video. Pick some patterns you can play over these chords. One of the things I like to do is play the same thing over chord changes. Like, what does this feel like versus this versus this? It's kind of like, this is nice, basically D flat 9. So here's our E flat minor. I'm not really outlining the minor third, but we're getting a little bit more dissonance in there. There's a bit more dissonance there, and it wants to resolve, and then, right, and then the ear has already heard that, so we're returning to home base with that tonic chord. Some ideas there. Let's see here. Another thing I was doing there on that G flat I'm kind of like bringing some of my chords in, and that changes the energy and the movement and the accompaniment of the left hand as well. Versus this stretched out kind of sound. So maybe the first time I'll do this. The second time on that chord, I'll bring it closer in. So it's not necessarily things I'm thinking about in the moment, but it's just things I've practiced over and over in different pieces, not necessarily on this piece, but then it's a palette I can draw from when I want to improvise. So I hope that makes sense. So yeah, I want to thank my patron for requesting this. I don't know if I'd cover it otherwise. I'm not a big Lana Del Rey listener, but I thought this was a really pretty song, and I enjoyed learning on piano. And keep an eye out for the Synthesia. Hopefully it's uploaded by the time you watch this video. And that's another way to kind of see what I'm doing with my hands and notes and all those things that help other people create music. So a big thank you to my patrons on Patreon for supporting the channel. Thanks for all the kind comments and the feedback from everybody. I hope you're doing well, and I will catch you in the next video.